I'm ready to go live. Hello, hello, hello. Maria Graham, you are the first one in, my dear. Thank you for coming and welcome, welcome, welcome. For those of you who are here, uh-oh, I forgot something. One moment. How about I mute this? Okay. So, Maria Graham says hit that like button. Thank you for coming, everyone, on this Juneteenth. So today is Thursday, June 19th, 2025. I would like to thank those of you who are in the bushes. I realize I'm back on East Coast time. So whereas it's 4 p.m. here, it is 1 p.m. on the East Coast. And other times throughout the states, we are expecting, I'm looking out the window, I see the wind picking up. We're expecting a crazy thunderstorm today. So I'm going to keep an eye on it. Or if I get knocked off, you know what? Why? Doncell Cooper, thank you for coming and welcome, welcome, welcome. Appreciate your love and support, sir. Shay Shay, crafting on a dime. Well, I didn't have a chance. Thank you, Maria. I'm laughing because, as some of you know, I just got back to Connecticut. I don't even have my stuff unpacked yet. I couldn't wait to go to the Connecticut garden today. The community garden had to see what plants made it, didn't die in the past month. There were some inside the apartment. There were some in the community garden on the ground. Yankee Sister Homestead, hola hermana, thank you, and welcome, welcome, welcome. I know you were working this morning. I tried to get back inside, and you will probably be outside working before the rain comes. So no. Let me finish thanking everyone. I'd like to thank the moderators, those of you who are in the Friends and Family Club and pay a small monthly fee to help sustain the channel. One of the reasons, hi Juanita Campbell, thanks for coming and welcome. She says hello to everyone. One of the reasons I switched back to StreamYard, the free version, is because I'm not trying to get revenue per se. Hey, Mike's Chaotic Gardening, thank you for welcome. And I don't make $20 a month to even pay for the streaming service that I had at Restream. When I left StreamYard, they had all these convoluted policies, and they wouldn't um, they wouldn't let me switch. They automatically wanted to switch me to $89 a month. Come on, man. I am a retired person. I live on a fixed income, and I try to do what I can with my family. I'm a great great grandmother. Proud to admit we have 6 living generations. You have met some of them. My sister Joanne, whose home I've been in for the last little bit. Hello, Maddie Barnum. Thank you for coming and welcome. I don't remember seeing you before, so I would like to thank you. And I don't see it didn't come up here. Oh, here at Maddie Barnum. So when I do a review of the channel, and thank you. If this is your first time here, please, let's say, turn on the notification bell, and don't forget to subscribe, give a thumbs up so that you can know when I come back live. This is a variety channel, and it stands for Garden, Quilt, and Art Show let me see if I can get my banners up. I had to reprogram everything, which I'm in the process of doing. And they're saying blah, 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 blah. So I guess this is the part. Ah, bingo. Was his name? Oh, where it says there's 6 living generations. And we do gardening, cooking from scratch, quilting, DIY, fine arts, visual arts, and crafts. My name is Ellen Pankey, and I am a daughter, sister, great great grandmother. You know what that means? Chief family storyteller, content creator, and writer. And there's my email address. You know what this means, you guys? This means that my granddaughter is a grandmother. And we just welcomed her second grandson into the world. So I want to catch up with each of you. Where are each of you coming into the channel from? I don't have Nightbot programmed yet to where you can drop your link, but I will try to have that by Friday. And happy Juneteenth to each and every one of you. For those of you who don't know what Juneteenth stands for, I can give you a quick little recap. So, President Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation on January 1st, 1863. I'm actually a storyteller for the Underground Railroad. I don't know if you can see that notebook over there, that big thick notebook. So 20 years ago, I was retained by the City University of New York to help present the Underground Railroad website for the college. I used to be an adjunct professor at a few different universities back in the day. Now I'm retired and trying to remember if I ate my applesauce so that I could take my meds. I'm just kidding. So I'm back on the East Coast, red lipstick on. Couldn't wear it in Arizona, 115 degrees. It would have been smeared all over my face. So I tried to fix myself up for you guys. And Maria is so funny. Thank you, Maria. I didn't have time to comb my hair. So when I go out in my garden to keep the bees, luckily there were some bees out there, you guys. I haven't seen this garden since the beginning of May, before Mother's Day. So I was excited to go out there. Some of the perennials I have out there and the plants that I put out there for the planter garden herb challenge. Well, I did the winter sowing method. So I just put the containers outside. And I said either they'll live or they won't live, but at least they'll get some water. After I left to go on my trip and to see about my mom and everything for Mother's Day, the the floodgates to the heavens opened up and we had rain almost every day. The person who was going to water my garden didn't even have to do it. But I'll show you a funny story, and it is that I had 2 basil plants and a tiny one that I started from seed, 2 starts, and I'm going to slowly I turn. Speaking of Juneteenth, that is an art quilt of the continent of Africa with all 52 of the current states. And I don't know if you can see that big half-gallon jar over there. It's kind of backlit, so you can't really see it. They are my purple sweet potatoes. I put them in a half-gallon jar, and it was too cold to put them in. Whoops, it's not a live stream. If I don't drop something, it was too cold to put them outside. So I put them in the window so that as the roots grew, they could find the water on themselves if they wanted to live. If not, we would root a new sweet potato when we came back. La 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 la. The good news is that the roots have filled up that whole half-gallon jar, and some of the sweet potato slips have gone all the way to the bottom of the jar, and it's 86 degrees here today in Connecticut 6B, and I can start transferring the things that are not outside. So we're working through the G, the Q, the U, the A, and the T. Let me see if I can find that little part up here. Well, at least I'm not turning on that music like I did on the other channel. Okay, so that's kind of big, but it is what it is. I made another one. I don't know if it's showing example banners. Well, I just won't. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Let me see something. I don't know if it's going to work, but let's try this. I may have to reprogram Nightbot, but we can try it. Exclamation mark GQUAT if you are a content creator, and we can connect with each other. So this is exciting. So I will leave that up for a while. If you'd like to become a member to receive special benefits, things that go out, special announcements, you can pay $1.99 a month. You don't have to. Just it's free to subscribe to the channel, and everyone is welcome. And I share what I know, and I've been around quite a while. For those of you who are new, I will be 77 years old in a couple of months. So I've been around over 3/4 of a century, and I've learned a few things. Hi, diversity. I'm trying to, oh, feels like 110 with the humidity. It does. When I came in from the garden, I had to take a second shower. It was only like 10 or 11 o'clock. And my helper, she's a wuss. She's a wuss. So when I went in my raised bed, before the fall, I put all these leaves in there and a bunch of stuff. So I was inviting the worms in so I could have lots of worm castings. Threw a couple worms in there. I picked up a worm. It was only a stinking baby worm. And she was like, oh, it's got bacteria. It's got germs. And I'm like, it doesn't have any germs. Then she goes, well, you didn't put your gloves on. I'm like, I know. They're in my backpack over there with Hershey. So, yeah, I had to scrub my nails, scrub with a brush when I came in. And I do let me backtrack and tell you about my trip home. So the trip from Arizona to Dallas Fort Worth we left my sister's house 9:30 at night. The flight left Phoenix Airport at 12:30 a.m. and it was supposed to get into Dallas Fort Worth at 5 a.m. So Mike's laughing about the germs. Nikki, the everyday life of an OCD-ish chick. I will interrupt my story to say, welcome to GQUAT Traditions, where good friends become family, and family is everything. So I don't know what's going on with this bell. Oh, hadn't been rung for a few times. I guess it stuck a little bit. Or maybe something happened when it fell on the floor. There it goes. There it goes. I don't mind tinkering on stuff, so you guys know that. So I don't know if anybody tried to drop their link. So maybe it's not working. So I will erase that letter. I mean that message, and maybe just hide it. Okay. Okay. So then we'll just have some space. What I'm sitting in front of is actually my great granddaughter's Mother's Day present. She didn't get it yet because my mother was in the hospital last month. Then she was released to rehab care, and she slipped and fell in rehab, and she has a torn ligament in her knee, and then a couple of other things, and she's not feeling well. Hello, Mother. If you're able to see this broadcast, I just want to say hello and ego amote. So I didn't get to the family, to the house on Mother's Day, and you can only have like so many people in the room. So in the room with my mom was my daughter, my mom, and me. And at that time, she had mommy had a roommate. Some of you may have seen my gifts. This is one of my Mother's Day gifts, and it says to Mom P. My nickname is Penny, so my daughter put that on it because I've got lots of mail. I haven't been to the post office. Nikki, oh yeah, it's on the table over there, but I have a lot of stuff to mail you guys, and I also want to send you a cash app so that you can get the you can get the frame at the Dollar Tree. I had to take some stuff out of my suitcase because I was overweight. But here is, of course, it's upside down. And I won't drop it. I won't drop it. My favorite color is purple. And here are 27 purple roses. And these are live roses, you guys. They put something on it to dry them out. So these are called Forever Roses. And I don't know if they'll last for forever, but I have like 24 roses from last year, Valentine's Day, when I had my left knee replaced the day before Valentine's Day, and my daughter brought me the pink ones. I'm about ran out of here with flowers, y'all. Oh, Yankee Sister says, so pretty. Thank you. So, where are you guys coming from? So, I'm telling you the story about going from Phoenix to Dallas Fort Worth. Well, 100 years ago, I used to work part-time for American Airlines in the tour sales. That's the travel department. Like if you go to an island and you book a hotel and you have the different boat rides and everything. So I used to work there for the travel benefits. I was married though, and my husband said that he was too old to fly coach, and so we had to sacrifice and go first class. So even with my ID, they had something called ID 90 where you pay 10% in cash. So we got to travel around. But as an employee of American Airlines, I could not buy a membership to the Admirals Club. It was like they didn't want the help in there, right? So I came up with this bright idea. Yankee Sister saying, "Hola, mother." And I came up with this bright idea for my husband to buy a lifetime membership to the Admirals Club. So, which we did with our money. And he's no longer with us on earth. But with our money, right, we bought me a wife's lifetime membership. Well, at the time, I was only like in my 50s. So a lifetime from age 50 to 100, that's about 50 years. That's about 50 years. So I'm getting my money's worth. I don't travel that often, maybe every year and a half. By the time I get my credit card paid off from upgrading my flight, because now I pay full fare for everything. So to go upgrade to first class, I have to pay for it by the horns. And by the time I get the card paid for, it'll be time to take another trip. Let me see if I can get to the bottom of the comments. But you know what I like about StreamYard? That I don't touch all that other stuff. So I get into Dallas Fort Worth at 5 a.m. and they bring the wheelchair thing. You go through all the customs and stuff, you guys. If you have any type of infirmities, we're not saying to fake it. If you have any type of infirmities, at 77, I got infirmed everything. They were gonna push me through the metal detectors. Like, do you have metal in you? I'm like, yeah, because the thing started boinging before I got to it. I have it in my head, my nose, my face, my cheeks, my hip, my both knees. So they have a thing, if you're over 75, you don't have to take your shoes off or get up. I'm like, oh, if I do that, I'll fall down. So anyway, long story short, we came in at Terminal A. We had to go all the way over to Terminal C. So we were on this riding cart going all through all the airports. We get to Terminal C, and I said, what time does the Admirals Club open up? Do you have to use the restroom? I'm like, gee, I've been flying 5 hours. I don't think I do, but I want to go double check. I don't want to go use that nasty bathroom on the plane. And the VIP club, the restaurant room, it's got all the fancy soaps, the napkins, the lotions, whatever you want in individual packets. So I had them drop me off at the Admirals Club, went up there, had a captain's breakfast. I wasn't even hungry in first class when they served a full breakfast. So we did that. Then I got to the airport in Connecticut. We left Dallas at 7 a.m. and got to Connecticut at 11:30 a.m. So, hey, Miss Shirley O.G. Gardner. Yes, I'm back home. You see all my familiar busybody stuff back here. So, I guess there was a wind and the jet stream was blowing. We landed 20 minutes early. So, I'm in seat 2A. I step off, the second person to get off the plane. The wheelchair wasn't there. The second wheelchair to bring me to the Uber so that I could get home in Connecticut. So they said, oh, have a seat. So I had a seat in seat 1C, the first seat, in back of where the crew was. So I waited. Finally, some guy came to get the wheelchair. I don't think that was his regular job. He went running, going over bumps. You know how you go over a hiccup bump in a car and you go over it and your stomach is still up there? He did that. He goes, oh, sorry. Oh, but wait, first, he's going to leave Hershey. Hershey is a carry-on. So I had my backpack because I had my MacBook in it, and I wasn't going to check that. So he gets my backpack. He's going to leave Hershey. I said, no, that's my dog. Got to get my dog. Then we go down to where the luggage is. Well, seat 2A, I boarded like a gazillion hours earlier. So my bags had to be one of the first ones loaded. And they had this big orange tag that says priority boarding. So I don't know whose suitcase wasn't going to make it on the plane, but they try to get everybody who they rip off for the extra money to get their bags there. And I know, rushing too much. And then, and I left my cane. Hey, the guy left my cane. So I have to buy another one. And we get the luggage and we go out to where Uber is. Well, the guy takes me out. It was raining when we arrived. And he's got me sitting in the wheelchair behind this big column. I said, sir, and I had money in cash to tip him. Oh, that's another story. So then he has me behind this column. I said, Uber's not going to be able to see me. Hey, you Grow, thanks for coming and welcome. So I said, sir, you have to take me over around where I'm at least where the street is. How am I going to get over these curbs in a wheelchair? He tells me, go over and get that wheelchair. I said, no, you go over and get that wheelchair. I'm not getting out of this one. So you just push me over there. He pushed me over there. So the first Uber driver canceled the ride. I guess he had waited his little 5-10 minutes, whatever. He took off and left. I had to book another Uber. So then the second Uber driver comes in and he puts my backpack in and then he goes to get my suitcase. He said, oh, they didn't tell me you have a dog. I said, this is not a dog. This is Mr. Hershey. He's a service animal. He's 10 pounds. He has all his paperwork. Not to mention, you guys, I had to pay $300. That's why I had to go back to the free version of StreamYard. I'll be paying Hershey's ticket off. I put on my credit card. It cost me $300 for Hershey to go round trip because it's $150 each way for a carry-on pet. And I put him down under the seat that I already paid for my feet. Hey, Mona did what? Thank you for coming and welcome, welcome, welcome. So, yeah. So then the guy, I'm arguing with him. I don't cry easily. I was about, the little fake tears. So he'd feel sorry for me. So he stopped arguing with me long enough for me to hop in the back seat. Mind you, my cane that I brought with me was already on the wheelchair, I guess, going to unclaimed baggage. So the guy, the Uber driver that brought me home was telling me that he was from Turkey. And I asked him if he was a gardener or if he did anything to grow his own foods. And you know what's interesting? Hey, Tori's Brain. Thanks for coming, y'all. And welcome, welcome, welcome on this Juneteenth. And we'll talk about that in a minute. And I have a couple of Underground Railroad story quilts that are custom that I made myself that I will show you, and some other mail. So the guy was saying he was a beekeeper and telling me about how it was in Turkey before he came here. And he actually used to work in a restaurant at first before he got the bees and a nice car where he could drive people around. But I saw the gas light come on before I got out. So not only did I give him the tip that goes with the Uber, the couple of dollars. Oh, and the wheelchair driver, he just, because I wouldn't get up and go get another wheelchair, he just walked away and left it. So guess what? The money, the cash I had in my hand to give him, his little happy behind walked off and left it. I gave it to the Uber driver along with the Uber driver 20% tip. So he had a good day. So we were talking about gardening, and I have a community garden. Guess what he said they grew a lot of in Turkey? He said they grew a lot of collard greens. They had kale. He was telling me how he prepared it. We actually had a good little friendly little visit. And I was so happy he finally, niced up that we just had a little friendship visit. And he made like an extra $20-$30 on his trip, but he deserved it. Then he got out and he took my rollator suitcase to the door. We put Mr. Hershey's, luggage on there, and then my backpack. And then the maintenance man, that's one of the luxuries of not having a house. There wouldn't have been anybody at my house to do all that for me when I lived alone. So he came to the back door. By then, the maintenance man came, brought me to the elevator. Somebody else working in the building brought me to my door. And we're just enjoying being home. So then, what do I want to tell you next? My helper went to the post office for me on the way here. And thanks to Mike's suggestion, I'm always burning stuff. I turn pots on and then go in my room and watch y'all's videos on a 55-inch TV that's in my bedroom. And thank you. Mona said she's glad I'm home safe. Thank you. And I start watching videos, I forget until the whole tea kettle's burned up. These tea kettles cost like $65, $80 a piece. So I just got a new one. But look what one of the subscribers who's in here now, sent Auntie Ellen. And this one is just like the one my sister Joanne has. And I took it out of the box. It has a removable filter, a drip-free spout, safe locking lid, easy handle grip, stainless steel body, 360-degree swivel base, one touch power switch. You can see the water level and it turns off automatically. So I won't have to buy any new tea kettles this year, or the family won't have to buy me one. My granddaughter's been buying me one a year, plus a humidifier. I don't need the humidifier on. My AC is on. It's down to 60. It's only like, I think maybe some of my plants died because it was too cold in here at 65 degrees. Mike said, Mona said she got one for her mom for Christmas. So Mona, I didn't set up my Cutie Pie Breeze yet. I didn't even finish unpacking, but I will. And I've been out in the garden all day. Yankee's sister said she loves those kettles. So it was like, Maria Graham said, that's very nice, Auntie. Thank you. So I'm like, where am I going to put it? Every inch of counter space in this apartamento está completa. Oh, I got so much to tell you guys. I'm so excited. So my helper said that if I turn I have a small crock pot. If I turn it sideways, I can put this electric crock pot and fit it on the counter. But when my microwave dies, I don't like microwaves anyway. I'm going to get rid of it. Why? Because when the house in North Carolina was sold, we sold my KitchenAid. I would rather have a KitchenAid, lifting my arm up, mixing around. I will be cooking on Saturday at 6 p.m., you guys, because one of the gifts will go to my next few gifts. One of my next few gifts, my sister closed my suitcase. I was waiting for her little narrow, but no, I didn't say that, sissy. I was waiting for her little sexy self to come sit on the butt. She don't have a big bubble butt like mine. She's very cute and shapely. I wanted her to sit on my suitcase so I could close it. She just goes flip, and I looked. She brought it downstairs for me. She went flip. She brought my backpack down from the second floor. So all I had to do was rest on the sofa with Angel, Mr. Hershey's daughter, and her and Uncle Roscoe. But I want to show you a gift that she made me. For those of you who don't know what Juneteenth is, the Emancipation Proclamation, and this is not a matter of the North, South, right, wrong, anything of that. It's a matter of history. The Emancipation Proclamation was passed by President Lincoln on January 1st, 1863. Well, they didn't have cell phones and Morse code and all that stuff, I don't think, back then. So they actually had to have these generals and horseback riders ride from Washington, D.C. to Texas. It took them until June 19th, 1865. So then all the slaves found out in Texas. That was the last stronghold of former slaves that were released. So that's how they started celebrating the holiday of Juneteenth. So that's like the 4th of July for many Black people, because that's when they were actually free. So that's what today is. And then a couple of years ago, just the last couple of years, I want to say, it was made into a federal holiday along with the 4th of July. Not speaking politics. I don't do religion and politics, but I don't know. Maybe those extra holidays might get reversed. I don't know. Things things they are a changing up in Washington. I mean, no, down in Washington D.C. from here. So I want to show you a gift I found in my backpack that my sister made and surprised me. It's a piece of her signed art. And what this is, for those of you who do not quilt, this is a collage. You know how I make the fabric postcards? Well, this is pieces of different African fabrics. Um, she glued it onto a backing. Then she put it in this frame. She gave it to me. I made her take it all the way out of the frame. I'm like, Sissy, you didn't sign it for me. So she took it. Doesn't she sign it all fancy, Joanne Stevens, and the date? So I love the colors too. And everything is purple. Orange is a secondary color, orange, green, and purple on the color scale for artists. And I can never tell if things are straight. For those of you who are new, I'm totally blind in my left eye, and the your depth perception is off. So what looks straight on one thing, I have to measure everything. They say measure twice and cut once. I have to measure 6 times and cut once. Gee, Mama grows hard in the garden. I seen you. I saw you. I forgot what. I left a comment, but baby, I can't remember. I was rushing around trying to do the garden thing, trying to see what seeds grew. Oh, and you guys, I'll do my planner garden TV. Remember, my ashwagandha lived, it's up. My Jamaican sorrel is up. I have a list of all the things I planted, the 10 herbs. They all lived. The rosemary lived. Other things that I just threw out there because I knew that nobody would be here to take care of it. Like Hands in the Dirt says, you left the kids home alone, fending for themselves, trying to feed themselves, get something to eat and drink. And yeah, so those were the things that I came back to. And I want to show you 2 more things that Auntie Joanne made. So a lot of you have gardens and farms. When I lived on the North Carolina homestead, I had chickens and Muscovy ducks, a couple of Santa goats. They're the little miniature goats. I was going to make goat's milk cheese and yogurt. I don't know how to milk no stinking goat. I was from Stamford, Connecticut, the metropolitan area, and near the water at that. Daddy had a boat. Weren't no goats and chickens and ducks in Stamford, Connecticut. I don't even think it was zoned. Cassandra's South Fulton Garden, thank you for coming and welcome. I'm just mostly storytelling today. So, this, if you see it, is a little girl up in the corner, and she has a chicken under her hand. And my sister did that. She's being funny because I decided in my retirement to get some chickens and had never, yeah, when my second husband was alive, we bought that property and had animals and horses. Oh, and where them fans at? We found a picture of Auntie Joanne on a 1,700-pound horse on a thoroughbred, 17 and a half hands high, with her cowboy boots on and a little silver buckle, and me too. So yeah, this is she did the front. It's not a quilt unless it's 3 layers. So I put the cotton batting and some denim in the back. I borrowed some of her denim. I didn't steal it. She gave it to me. And then this is another pieced block that she made. So these are mug rugs, you guys. Now I make mug rugs different sizes. Nikki's is a 4x6 because it'll fit perfectly in one of these frames. And you see how rich this looks, you guys? So this was some leftover, actually she fussy cut this fabric and put it in here. And this is a frame from the $1.25 store, the $1.25 store. So these are very nice. Why am I saying this? Because of those of you who don't sew, you don't have to sew to make something nice. You can put some of these in and just use it like this. Put a piece of cloth on it for a mug rug. So these are the two mug rugs my sister made me, and I could also use them if I need to for little pot holders. What I will show you Saturday, I think I'm going to make some homemade cornbread. My sister bought me, I think in 2018 when I was in Arizona, we were thrifting, and she bought me an iron skillet, but it wasn't a skillet. There were 7 things that were shaped like corn, and they were for making cornbread in. So I had my helper grease it and season it, and we baked it in the oven. When she came yesterday, she said, "Mrs. Helen, don't make a fire tonight." So I left it on 225 till about midnight, and I turned it off, and guess what? It turned from like this brown color, I guess that new iron is. I'm going to show you guys something. Iron, when it's new, is like a brown color. Can you see that? Well, now it's black like a regular skillet. Now it's black like a regular skillet. So we're going to try her out on Saturday, and we're going to cook live here. Okay, so what now? This is exciting. Mona did what? Those of you who are quilters, I want to show you. Actually, I have 2 of them. I have 2 original Underground Railroad story quilts. And it's my story in my blocks. It's not the block that's in the Underground Railroad quilt book. Now, it's already quilted. The binding is on. I just have to sit down and sew it down. But my story is the monkey wrench. Each of the, let's see, 11 blocks tells a story. Each block tells a story. That's why it's a story quilt. So the monkey wrench, and I'll show you on this quilt. I have 2 quilts. One is in batiks. I will show you the batiks. Nobody has quilts like these. And these quilts, I'm not bragging, you guys, but these quilts are museum quality. Every block is the way it's supposed to be, but I made some blocks that are not the ordinary ones. Mother, Amote, Miss Shirley O.G. Gardner is saying, hello. T-Hop, I saw you all. I saw the replay when I was out in the garden. So I will read the story of the 2 Underground Railroad story quilts that I made. They're in totally different colorways. They do not look alike. So let's unfold it. And I'll show you which blocks are which. Okay, so there are 3 blocks across and 4 down. The monkey wrench turns the wagon wheel. So this is the wagon wheel, and I don't know if you can see it, but I hand appliqued the wagon wheel on this quilt. Nice little stitches, and I tried to make it so that every 3 blocks had the same colorway. So one block will be red, one will be yellow, one will be blue going around. So the monkey wrench turned the wagon wheel. Okay, let me get my story out. Turn the wagon wheel on a bear's paw trail. So this block is called a bear's trail. And Mona is a quilter. She will tell you that these, when you make quilts for like a quilt show, the corners, the points rather, are not supposed to be cut off. You're supposed to be able to see the points. So I took my time and I squared up every single block on this entire quilt. And I was legally blind when I made these two quilts, and it took me 2 years. Okay, so that's the bear paw. Where's my storyline? The bear's paw to the crossroads. So this is a crossroads like at the railroad tracks. Oh, by the way, it's machine quilted. This one is in leaves. So there's the crossroads. And dig a log cabin in the ground. So some of you aren't quilters, but a lot of you have seen a log cabin block. So this is a log cabin. And most log cabin quilts, as the story goes, have red in the center. It is said that for the quilts that were hung on the fence to show that it was a safe place for slaves to hide or rest, they had a black in the chimney instead of red. So I put black in the chimney over here. Okay, now down to the next row. So shoe fly, I know this block by her. Shoe fly is a person that worked on a lot of plantations, like he was a blacksmith or something, and he knew his way around off the plantation, on the plantation. Say shoe fly told us to dress up in bow ties and satin bow ties. So I tried to find some material that was kind of fancy. Mind you, this quilt is authentic African fabrics that I had imported just for this quilt, and looking around. So these, if you can see, are bow ties going different ways. And then it said, follow the flying geese. These are the geese. This is a different block. I made mine. This is called a Flying Dutchman because that is a block indigenous to Pennsylvania. Mona can tell you, she's from that neck of the woods. PIA is from that neck of the woods. And why? Because my own personal family, my mother's family, hails from Pennsylvania. We actually have a registered historic landmark that has my mother's family's cemetery going back through the Civil War, because her grandfather and great-grandfather were never slaves. One fought in the Revolutionary War, and then all the wars, First World War, Second World War. No, I left the Civil War out. That war also. But let me finish telling you the story of this quilt. Follow the flying geese in a snail's trail. Why a snail's trail? Because if the bounty hunters were chasing them, a snail doesn't go straight, they couldn't find them. Other Underground Railroad tracks story quilts tell a different story, but this is the story that I picked for my quilt, my rules. And then they said, follow the North Star, but I didn't make the star that they did. I made an Ohio star, one, because I love that block. Thank you, PIA said, I'm glad I'm home safely. And I like the Ohio star. And a historical fact, that if you were escaping on the Underground Railroad, the shortest way to Canada, because you were never truly free unless you got to Canada, because you could always be kidnapped back into slavery in the South during the Civil War. So going up through the Great Lakes and catching a boat to Canada, that was a shortcut. And that's why the Cincinnati airport and all those things going up through Ohio or Tennessee. And then here's the sailboat to get to Canada. Okay, now, since I already told you about the quilt, now that one I just made in African fabrics just for contrast. Now look, this is the same exact quilt Oh, look, and bless her little heart. I know you can't see my little facey, but I can't hold it up at the same time. So I just happened to grab this. And guess what, Nikki? I was in such a hurry trying to get here on time for y'all. This story is a candidate for a PBS segment. Yes, I will do one, but I got to finish the quilts first and put the label on the back. And thank you, Anthony. And I tried to make it museum quality, something that I could be proud of, something that all of you could be proud of, that I took my time, even legally blind, and made these blocks do what they're supposed to do. So now I just want to show you, this is the same exact quilt. Let me pull this down again for you. So here's the churn dash, and here's my story block. And what I did with this is printable fabric. So I put this through my printer and printed it, and then I heat set it. Well, this fabric only came in white, so nothing in the quilt was pure white. So I took a tea bag, and I dabbed it to make it look antique. And then this one, I hand appliqued. See these little invisible stitches? I hand appliqued the wagon wheel on there. Then I like this bear's paw because it's green. It looks like the woods. I tried to make it look like woods. And then look at these, baby. How about these fancy bow ties? They were actually gold and purple and gold. This is a log cabin. Now, I love African fabrics. I also love batiks. I love, love, love batiks. And if you look on this block, you could see where it's quilted in swirls. I actually used to teach long arm quilting, and I was on the board of directors for the Long Arm Guild. It's got these clips on here. Someone was supposed to be hand sewing it down. So here is shoe fly. This is the shoe fly block in batiks. And these were my own collection of fabrics, not some that were pre-selected. And then this one, when I got to the crossroads, I didn't have enough of any of these to make them all the same. So I just mixed them and matched them. Oh, good night, Mona. Thank you so much. Thank you, sweetie. And I will see you guys. My TV's been running nonstop trying to catch up on live streams. So here are the Flying Dutchmen, or the flying geese. That's what this block is called, a flying geese. So you notice I made these two and these two the same, and these two and these two the same. Then we come down to the snail's trail, and I just love, love, love. I collected these batiks from everywhere, all over the world. And then here is the Ohio Star, and I just had this one little piece of this color batik I put in the middle, and I mixed and matched all my own colors. And then look at this sailboat going to Canada. Oh, you do? PIA? PIA? Oh, that's so interesting. She says she has some of those pieces of fabric from me. So what happened, you guys, is when I finish things, I have shared with some people, I said, well, okay, I'm finished this, and I have a lot of unfinished projects, a lot, you guys. And I said, if people that quilted, I said, if you will pay the postage, I will give you some of these pieces of fabric. Maria Graham paid some postage. PIA did. Tigsy. Some of the ones that are quilters. Who else? Unbiased. So I shared some of these fabrics. So now you see what those fabrics came from. I just thought that was interesting. How about you guys? So today is a day that I'm making sure that I finish all the stuff I wanted to tell you. I'm not going to start sewing. I'm still sweating. Maria Graham says your quilts are beautiful. Thank you, Maria. I tried to make them true to history and historical, meaning a block that told a story and something that I don't know. They may end up at a what do you call it? A secondhand store. People like myself who quilt and put their love and blood, sweat, and tears into their quilts. They say, okay, Nana's gone. Let's sell the house, get the money. And they just call a truck, some movers, take everything to the secondhand store. Auntie Joanne's not here today because she and Uncle Roscoe had a doctor's appointment. And she was, but she'll tell you, we have picked up some amazing quilts for like $2 and $3 at the secondhand store because the family of the people who made them didn't respect them or honor them. So, you guys, I couldn't, I guess Nightbot isn't working, but I'll see if I can drop this. Who would like to come up and tell us where you're from, what's going on with your life, whether you're gardening, you're quilting, just like the Uber driver. Who would have known? And then he was telling me about his bees, how many hives he had. And we were talking about whether he could get a tax deduction by registering the bees. Why? Because the bees pollinate the flowers and the farms and the earth, and he lives up in farm country. But then, it's like one hand giveth and the other taketh away. You can go register your bees, then they come back and they want to do an inventory. Well, how many jars did you sell? And I think he told me that he sells a quart of honey for like $25. That's a fair price. That's a really fair price. Not imitation honey that you get at the grocery store, not the garbage that you buy that's mixed with who knows what, turkey snot or something. Mother, I didn't say that. That wasn't very nice. That wasn't very nice. So I dropped a link if any of you would like to come up. Your aunt's husband's family are in the history books helping slaves in Ohio Underground Railroad, the Kaufmans. Oh, that's interesting. There is a Juneteenth celebration in Pennsylvania where my mother's family's from. And two of my cousins, one has her doctorate, and so does her daughter. They help people trace their ancestry and genealogy. Yes, yes, PIA. They mix it with everything. One never knows. Do one. Do one. So here is the link if anybody would like to come up and tell us what you're doing, show us what we're doing. I haven't been able to drop a link or do anything for a while, and I just thought I'd share this day with you all because I've been going live for about little over 2.5 years. Mike said, LOL, gross. Ah, turkeys, I don't think do that. I don't know. I was just making up stuff. Just being scary. Just trying to get you to not eat your ice cream so I could have it. That's what we used to do to my sister Joanne. We used to say mean things, and she would be like, my brother and me. And my brother is younger, but he was always bigger than Joanne. He's like 6'4" now, a big galactopus. He called me before. I have to call him later. So I would be on one side of Joanne, the other. She never ate a lot, or she wouldn't eat her meat. She'd turn her head to see what he was doing. I'd pluck off her plate. Billy would do the same thing. She turned to see what I was doing, and then he'd get her and stuff. And then she would eat her ice cream. Mommy would give us ice cream. We had an ice cream churn. So we used to make the ice cream. I used to be the queen of vanilla custard. And let me see if I could get that off. Take the banner off just so that we could see each other. I don't want to show that. No, I want to hide that. Okay, so I used to be the queen of making the French vanilla custard, and we had the old kind of ice cream urn where you get the ice, and then you put rock salt on it. That made it extra cold, and you turn it by hand, turn it by hand. So I'd make all the little kids do it when it was easy. And then at the end, about the last two cranks, I would hop in there. The big sister, the shero of the day. Why? So that when they took that paddle out with all that good ice cream stuck to it, I could be the first one in there with my spoon or my lips or whatever I could get away with. And then everybody be like, ew, ew, ew. So, Miss Shirley, we have to get together about these family history because the Thomas family, if you Google the Thomas family cemetery in Hopwood, Pennsylvania, that is my mother's whole family. And the story is that Grandpa Augustus Thomas, Thomas is a popular Dutch name, like the Pennsylvania Dutch. And Grandpa Augustus fought. I looked up his. I actually have his military records, and because I wanted to see if he fought with the North or the South, because they were very fair skinned, blue eyes, blonde hair, all that stuff, and I wanted to see. So these fought for one I guess the North. So he ended up buying 455 acres of land in Pennsylvania, which became a walk-in coal yard. And then the land was sold. One of my grandmothers was Native American, and after like 10, 11 kids, she died. Then he married someone else who was blind, and she couldn't keep up with the property after he passed. So the most of the property, most of the 400 acres was sold to the Jewish cemetery, except for the part that is still there. I can look up, and then the state of Pennsylvania actually documented every single headstone, every single birth date of everyone that's in the cemetery. Oh, I see something, you guys. It took, I guess you say, took her long enough to run her mouth. Yo, big sister. Hey,
I
Shirley,
was waving at you.
welcome.
I was trying to get your attention. I had
There
just
you go.
finally. I'm trying to do these stairs one step at a time. That's the only way I can do them. My knee's still not bending yet, and I was trying to get you
Oh,
to bring me up because I was chasing a groundhog.
oh no! Don't chase him over here. He could jump. He could jump from here to there. My helper and I
He
were
heard
looking
his
out for him.
babies crying, and he was running across the yard, and I was trying to catch y'all to see him. It's a little fat one. And I caught the babies the other day. They didn't know I was sitting out in the garage because I was
Oh,
sitting real quiet and
that is
real
funny.
still. And he came out with to start nibbling on my plants. And I was like, what? And he jumped and he ran. And I was laughing because he just took off. But
And see,
I'm
that's
trying to go outside. It's been raining on and off all
wait,
day.
slow down,
And I
slow
just,
down. You're like my sister Joanne. She always rushing. Relax. I was
oh,
we put a trap out there. My groundhog is bigger than Mr. Hershey. And some of the
wait a minute.
people,
Let's see if you can see this baby raccoon looking at me.
oh no, don't if you see one during the daytime, they have rabies. A raccoon
It's a
or
mom. It's a mom, and she had about 4 or 5 babies, and this one came out during the storm, and
okay,
it disappeared for a minute, and I was back. I just want
okay
to kind
now.
of show you some of the stuff in the
Oh, your
yard.
garden looks nice. Are you just showing off because yours look nice and I just got back and ain't been out there this year yet? She tried to She tried to throw me to the dogs and make me look bad, y'all. I don't care. I don't care. I'll go over Yankee sister's house and get food. So hi. Y'all ain't got no Yankee sister to help you out. So how about that?
I can't believe this baby is sitting here looking at me.
Oh my God.
He's
Do you
cute,
have
but he's destructive at the same time.
that is funny. I have chipmunks and squirrels and groundhogs and deer.
Yeah, I got them all. And I also have possum. And for the first time in maybe 20 years, I saw a chipmunk. And I was like, he's not going to be around long because we have a lot of hawks and stuff out here. So he going
Oh,
to pop up one day and they're going to swoop down and get him.
oh,
But
Yankee sister said everything looks wonderful, Miss Shirley. Don't be nice to her, Yankee sister. She's showing off. She's showing off because she got all that stuff growing over there and her little friends.
well, wait a minute. But I want to show you this. You see this flower here?
Yes.
They were $2. You see all of these?
Yes. $2 where?
They were I was at Mark's and they had a clearance rack and they were all $2 a piece. They had about 12 or 13 of them. And it was me and two other girlfriends. We snatched up every last one of them.
See
And then
how
we
you
went
do?
back and then they had the small trays of flowers
See, they have names for
like
people
this.
like you, Miss Shirley.
And they were petunias and they are $1 a piece. So, whoa, was that a chipmunk? I just saw a chipmunk. Oh, he's eating my strawberries. Okay.
Oh, I was gonna say throw your cane at him. Oh, that's right. I left mine at the airport. I have to go see my foot doctor in the morning, and then after that, the rheumatologist. I'm gonna get them to write me a script so I could get a walker with a chair on it, so I could store my garden and stuff, and hook it on.
Oh, a rotator.
Yeah, my aide said, "Are you using these?" I guess she thinks my garden looks ratchet. I have 2 walkers in there, but guess what? My walkers are to support my plants growing up it. Those are the ones that
But you know what I
retire.
do? I take my rotator that has the seat and I lean the seat back and I put my grocery basket in there when I go grocery shopping.
Oh, well, I go take the cart. Oh, my Lord. I'm glad my sister's not
Well,
here.
when the cart is all gone, that's the next best thing. I just want to show you. Look at there.
Oh, your garden
My
looks
basil.
nice. Oh,
And my deal is so heavy, it's bending over. I gotta. But look at my Meyer lemon.
oh, look at her. So you're going to bring her
No,
in.
these weren't here yesterday. Those blossoms weren't there yesterday, so that happened within the last 24 hours. So I'm just as shocked as you are right about it.
Oh.
But yeah, the garden is popping. All this rain. It's just stopped raining. It's been raining like no, I ain't kidding. About an hour ago, I was looking for Noah's Ark to come down the street. It's been raining so
It's been
hard,
raining
and it
every
stopped.
day since I left Connecticut 2 days after Mother's Day and went to Arizona. But I brought y'all some heat back. This heat's getting ready to hit. Y'all throwing canes. Yeah, yeah.
Well, I got mine. Oh, wait a minute. Ah, I feel like Chester on Gunsmoke.
I
Mr. Billy,
remember.
Mr. Billy,
I
there's a
knew. I
gambler
knew
in town.
Chester. I knew all. I knew all them criminals. I knew all of them. All
Oh,
of them.
throwing this leg. Oh, and this leg
Um,
is so stiff and tight. Let me show you
I.
this.
You know what you need, Miss Shirley? One of those yoga bands, and you could put it
Oh,
under your own foot and
I got
gently,
him. They gave him
gently
to me
go.
in PT
Yeah.
to
Well,
do
I
my
got.
exercise in.
Listen, girlfriend. When you get my age, you'll have 3 sets of them.
I got them. Don't believe I got them in every color from orange to blue
Yeah.
to yellow.
Oh, you talk about no? Those are the bands, the stretch bands. There's another one
Yeah.
like for yoga that's made of like the straps, like you put on bags, and it's heavy, and you put your foot inside it and pull it. It's
Oh,
stronger.
I got that too. Actually,
Yeah.
it's on the end of the stretch band. It's on the end of the stretch band because he slides my foot in it when I'm laying down to raise my leg up. So I got those too.
What? Pause.
Stop.
I just had to be bad. I just had to be bad. I had to be bad. Nikki's sister talking about.
I'm waiting right now. My hydrangeas are starting to bloom.
Oh, are yours white or purple or blue or pink?
Mine are pink and blue.
Oh,
Pink
it
and blue. They're
depends
different colors.
on the amount of acidity that's in the soil. So I
Well, I'll add coffee grounds, and the coffee grounds will turn it more pink than blue. But I like the
exactly.
combination of the two. Yeah,
So I have
yeah,
Mike said that trainer getting fresh, huh? He laughing.
yeah.
We just being silly. Two sisters. Two sisters.
I, yeah, when I'm in physical therapy, he puts his hands around my waist because sometimes my knee want to do the little wobble thing, and he says, "I'm not gonna let you fall. I'm not gonna let you fall."
That's
And I'll
what
be
happened
like,
to my
"Okay,
mom. And see, at
yeah."
home, we wouldn't let her fall. We gently let her sit on the ground. She went down so fast, it popped and it tore the ligament.
Hmm.
Poor mommy.
No, no, Nick's not gonna let me fall because then my stomach and I'm nervous the rest of the day because my nerves are shot.
Oh,
So I
well,
got an appointment for a second opinion next week, so we gonna see.
I'm back in town. Like all the neighbors that had a break when I wasn't in this building, it's 79 people. They come over. I'm like, I'm the one that my sister said she saw a bumper sticker and it reminded her of
Hmm.
me. It says, Heaven doesn't want me and hell is afraid I'll take over. Oh,
Speaking of creative people, TIA made this hat for me.
oh, did she? I was looking
Yes, she
at
did.
her. She is
Yes,
sexy.
yes, yes, and it's
Very
got a pin
nice.
right here. It's a pin that's made like a starfish that's holding it back so I could see. And I love this hat. And
Oh,
everybody keep trying to take this hat, and I said, "This is a gift. You can't have this. You can't even
see,
get close."
that's like the things that my sister made me. I can make them one, but they can't have the one that she made me. And then she went and snuck it in my little backpack and put. I didn't even know it was in there until I unpacked it on the bed. I'm like, oh, isn't this
Yeah.
cute?
And she made a purple turban for me that I wore with purple lipstick, purple earrings, and a purple dress to a friend's repast, and everybody loved the outfit.
I said, oh, I bet you thought she was cute too, huh?
I was that day.
Yeah, I like purple too.
Yeah, and
Oh,
she was showing a new purple one she was making. I was like, "Ooh, I want one of them."
so
But
so
yeah,
what?
I've been enjoying the garden.
So you've been doing all this walking, and I'm saying now you must be
Yeah.
on your cell phone because you ain't walking around with this computer.
Oh
This
no, I'm on
this
my cell phone.
the little
I
this
couldn't do that with the computer.
15-inch, 17-inch computer or whatever. I was out there trying to walk around with this today, taking a report on trying not to fall, trying not to drop it in anything. But it looks a little bit better. And I found all my herbs that I need to make my on the 25th, my follow up for Plant a
Hmm.
Garden. But see, he just said that you have to post on the 5th and the 25th. He didn't say it had to be the same garden. Y'all know he didn't. There wasn't no rules. So I showed a garden in Arizona, and now I'm back to my regular garden over here in Blightsville. Over here in the community garden.
Well, I got all these containers out here that's filling up with water.
Oh, you're
So,
gonna get
so
mosquitoes
I'm
biting your tail.
and then I had the big barrels of stuff. No, but see, that's what I keep telling you guys. I was like, you go to the pet store, into the fish department, and they have what they call feeders. People get them to feed their turtles or snakes or whatever, or to fish with. And you get $1 or $2 worth, and you bring them back, and you put them in your rain barrels and stuff. And the feeders is your real 511. The feeders will put out
Oh,
fish
you're talking
food,
about
their poop,
feeder. Oh, you're talking about feeder
and
fish.
yeah, the little fish,
Oh,
and
see.
they're a little smaller than minnows. And
Well,
you put them in your water barrels, and they eat the larvae and the mosquitoes, and you don't have that problem. I
well,
don't have
then
that problem with mosquitoes over here.
I need to bring them in here and put them in my sweet potato jar because it had algae in it. I didn't have time to put no black sock on. Look, I didn't have a black sock that would fit no half-gallon jar. My legs ain't that big. I would have had to cut up a pair of my leggings to fit up that bad boy.
Oh,
So, Miss
yeah. So
Shirley.
I just wanted to come up and say hello, but I wanted to say a little bit more about Mr. Coffin. Mr. Coffin, well, we didn't call him Mr. Coffin, but Bebe's husband, he's Caucasian, and his
Oh,
family is actually in the history books in helping the slaves in the Underground Railroad. And we were, you know, quite proud of his heritage in regards to what his family did, and he's always been a good guy, and he was an attorney before he passed. So he I loved him. So yeah, it
you
was
can't.
good. And when you said the blanket, I thought about him.
Yankee Sister says, you look like a beautiful flower, sis.
Oh, thank you. Am I blooming
Yeah.
there? I'm blooming all over the
Yes.
place. You see how gloomy it is. It's still raining a little bit on and off. So I'm going back inside and take my time going back all these steps
Take your
so I can
time,
get
because I'm
ready
going
for my life.
to tell them a fascinating story, because they heard me say that a lot of my family, my grandfathers, great grandfathers, had blonde hair and blue eyes. So
Yeah.
when one of them came from England in 1719, I think it was, or maybe it was in the 1600s. I have it in the paperwork. It was like, so he had 8 sons. His 8 sons, it's like, so what happened to the rest of the cousins? So I'm on the
Mm.
family reunion committee. And they said they went up the hill. What does that mean, they went up the hill? Well, my grandmothers and all them, all their paperwork, when they finally had the census, they said mulatto, mulatto, mulatto. But mulatto
Wow.
meant that you were mixed with anything, not black. You could have
Right.
been Native American. So they were mixed with Native American, and they were light. So when she said they went up the mountain, now that is Miss Shirley Donzel Cooper. He thought you were my sister Joanne. You do look like you could be my sister. We sisters of the heart. Why? Because good
Yeah.
friends become family, and
And
family
family is
is
everything.
everything. Joanne won't come up. She won't show her face. She was all around the garden in Arizona this morning with her phone showing me stuff that was there on FaceTime, but she won't come up here and do it. I snuck one picture of her in the gas station that time. I showed y'all.
Ooh.
Because she was standing there. She looked so cute, and her hair was all the way down to her boom boom. And she was like standing there, politely 6 feet away. I'd have been up there like being rude.
It's gotten colder. It's actually dropped down to 54 degrees now.
What?
It's gotten downright cold. Yeah.
They said
It's
it
just
might.
keep every time it rains, the temperature keeps dropping another 5 to 10 degrees. Because yesterday it was 80 degrees here and I was sweating bullets out here. I came in to cool off, and now it's gone all the way down to 54 degrees. It's cold out here now. It ain't
It's
cool, it's cold.
86 here today, and it's supposed to go down. But over the weekend, next week, it's going to be like 95, 96. And where Yankee's sister lives, it is really hot. Oh, so let me rub that in some more. So Yankee's sister knows how sorry her big sister is. So she planted some extra few little seeds and things. And she comes right to
Mm.
my house, and I unlock my storage area, and son-in-law puts my stuff in there, and all I go out is get my helper and point at the container I needed put in, because it's a container. All you got to do is scratch it and throw it in and eat. Wait for the squirrels and the groundhogs and the chipmunks and the neighbors to steal it after I take the pictures for y'all. Yeah, so you're not going to have time for your nap before you go live.
No, I'm not. I'm getting ready to get off of here so I can take my time and go back up these stairs and at least sit down and nibble on something before my live so I won't
All
be
right. Well,
hungry.
thank you. I love you. Yankee sister said yes.
I love
An,
it.
an
Thank you.
extended garden. Thank you. Thanks, sis.
All right, you
See
guys
you
have a good
later.
one.
I'm gonna come
Bye
through, if
bye.
only for a minute, and leave something.
All right. Hey, I understand it's your nap
Well,
time too, so it's no
unless I
problem.
fall asleep. I was in the garden all day, so
Yeah, I hear you. All right.
all
Bye
right.
bye.
Thank you. So you guys, wasn't that fun? I hope you guys enjoyed today. So I'm not going to start making a mess and sewing and pulling stuff out and dropping it. Use the tights egg from Walgreens. Oh, that's so funny. That's so funny. Mike, I knew I should have covered that jar up. But guess what? I put it in the sink and I washed the jar out, the cracky method, and all the green algae, it just rinse right out. And hold on, you guys, I'll get it. But hold on because it is heavy. Hold on, I hear bones cracking, bones cracking, bones cracking. Well, first, I want to show you guys what died. This was the basil inside the house. So we have to give him a proper funeral. A proper funeral because the one that's in the yard is still living. So I don't know how much a half a gallon of water weighs. Woo, woo, woo. Look at this, you guys. Look at this big sweet potato with the slips. So these are ready to go in one of the containers next week. So look, Mike, this was a lot of water. But you know, oops, I've done cracking method before, so I knew while I was gone, the roots would still be reaching down, trying to get to the that basil. No, that was the rosemary, like the rosemary I shared with you. I left one inside, one outside. The one outside is nice. The little baby ones that I started from seed, it's about this one, but the one like yours, you'll see it when you go out there. It's actually big. And I wrapped a lot of that fabric around it so that nothing could dig it up. Yep, slips, you grow lots of slips. But one thing I don't know, because I just don't remember. Now, one of these slips has roots that's down to the bottom of the jar. But do I need to take a couple days? Oh, the rosemary missed me. Oh, it did. Well, there's more outside. The yarrow is up, the oregano, the hibiscus or Jamaican sorrel, the ashwagandha. They saved themselves. Like Hands in the Dirt said, I had all them kids sitting in the car out there with the windows down, raining inside. Uh, they made it on their own. They made it on their own. So I don't have to do anything. Okay, Maria Graham saying I can put them in a grow bag, but the grow bag, all of mine are containers. But do I have to wait for them to root? Do the slips have to root? Because I'll show you. One of my slips is amazing. Hold on one second. Look at this. I shouldn't have even taken out. Look at this slip. Look at all the roots on this one. The rest doesn't. She's gonna call Plant Protective Services on me. I'm telling you, I'm gonna have to call them on myself. So this one is roots all the way. So maybe I'll have one sweet potato. Maybe these critters ain't gonna let me be great. They're not gonna let me be great. So I'm just gonna do what I do and enjoy it and have fun. And I will put some, fabric and different things on it. I'll protect them as best I can. If not, que sera, sera. Put the slips in water. They will root in a couple of days. But you can just put them in soil. Oh, Well, they're going. I'll put them in water until my helper is actually off Monday and Wednesday. She's going to Niagara Falls. Her mother is here from Columbia. So until she gets back, I'll put the slips in water and put them in the window. And by then, they should be ready to go in the ground. Try both ways? Okay. I know for sure the one with that big one. And isn't that a pretty color, sweet potato plant? I've had sweet potato plants before, but I've never had any that were this red color. So, you guys, Mother Egoamote, if you get to see this. So, I guess now it's time to say goodbye to all my lovely friends. I can't do my outro because I don't have it loaded. I appreciate each and every one of you. Oh, I do need some more slips, Yankee sister. Por favor. Thank you, mi amiga. Tu está buena hermana. I was downstairs talking to a lady in the office, and I said, "Why am I talking to you in Spanish?" She said, "I don't know. I don't speak Spanish." I'm like, I said, because, oh no, I was going to make a joke, but about something. But she said, you keep speaking all that Spanish around here. You gonna be dialing for somebody to come get you out. That was a joke. But yeah. So you guys, you I will see you guys Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern. Ego Wamote. All you guys have a good weekend. I will try to get to Yankee Sisters. I'm about out of gas though. I will tell you after the gardening and then trying to get unpacked. But I will be cooking homemade cornbread in those little corn things on Saturday live. Love you guys.